Hi everyone, welcome back to the Knits and Makes podcast. This is episode 7. Today is January 15th, Friday, 2021. Happy New Year. My name is Libby. I'm very excited to be doing this. It's been a hot minute since I've recorded a proper podcast episode. I had a couple other types of videos in December that I did. I did one vlog, just to give it a try. It was fun. It was a lot of fun doing that. And then I also did my Make 9 at the very end of the year. So if you haven't seen that video, I review my Make 9 plans for 2020, what I did, what I didn't do, and my thoughts on all of them. So if you haven't checked that out, I recommend it. It's fun for me to review at the end of the year. I don't like putting a lot of pressure on myself to meet those goals. I don't know. I mean, it's good to have goals, but if I don't follow through with them, that's okay. People change. And 2020, we needed a lot of room for change in 2020. So yeah, happy 2021. I'm very excited to share some things with you guys today. I have so much. I don't know how this is going to be a short video. I need to stop making, I don't know, if you guys enjoy the long chat videos, let me know. I'm always worried, when they start getting to be 45 minutes long, is that too long? Do you get bored? Let me know. That's helpful for me, because I can talk forever about knitting, and I will, but if that's not what you want, then I can try to keep it short. I don't know. So I have so much to tell you today. I'm very excited. Let's start with works in progress. I've kind of shared a little bit of things that I've been doing here, there, and everywhere. I don't know if any of them were started on my last episode, which was back, I think, at the beginning of December. So let's just do this. So, okay. I'm gonna start with this guy. So this is probably my biggest work in progress right now. It's so close to being done. Well, ish close to being done. So this is my Rift tee. This is the Rift tee by Jacqueline Cieslak. I'm doing the long sleeve version. So this is how it's looking so far. I'm missing one sleeve and I have part of a sleeve. So it's working up quick. It's going really well. I'm very happy with the progress. So just to give you some close-up details, there is a V-neck on this, which I really like. There is a twisted rib hem down here, and it's a split hem, which I've never done before. So it's a little bit longer in the back, shorter in the front. The pattern is really well written. There's a little bit to it, she knows what she's talking about, that's for sure. So there are a lot of options within the pattern. There's the V-neck, and the back of the neck is like a boat neck. You can do, you can reverse those. You can make it completely reversible. You can have, the scoop neck on the back and scoop neck on the front. She recommends not doing a V-neck on the front and back. But depending on if you want to make the pattern, make the garment reversible or not, she recommends maybe not doing a high-low hem if you want it to be reversible. So my intention is for this to be worn one way. So yeah, this is how it's going. I'm knitting it out of a Cascade 220 Sport. It's really beautiful. This blue color is really pretty. And it's a little bit it's not super woolly, but it has, I can tell that it's gonna bloom when it blocks. Anyways, so I'm very, very happy with how this is going. really close to being done. Hope to be done that soon. Hope to be done that this weekend, actually. I think I'm gonna give it to my sister for her birthday. So I think I mentioned in my Make 9 video, there was one garment that I wanted to make for my sister, and I decided against that, and I'm making her this instead. Her birthday is next week, so if I can finish it this weekend and get it blocked, then I can drop it off for her. I'm in Ottawa. I didn't mention that, Ottawa, Ontario, and currently we're under very strict lockdown, only essential trips, so I'm hoping next weekend if I go to the grocery store I can, you know, drop it off on my way, because it's, I mean, COVID birthdays are their own thing, kind of a bummer, so I would like for her to have something special on her birthday, even though we're all trapped inside. So yeah, so I'm almost finished that, very excited to be done. Highly recommend that pattern. I will be knitting it again for myself. Yep. So that is that one. I have, oh, actually really quickly, I just want to show you the yarn for that pattern I have in this little yarn bowl. And it's by J. Henry Design Co. So that's her little logo. Well, yeah. And then this is the little bowl. It has like a edge that rolls up. It's like really simple, but really cute. It's perfect. So I just plop my little cake in there and it's not going anywhere. And I tend to actually throw whatever notions I have in there as well. I have these needle keepers, these little guys that I just like chuck in here. Sometimes I throw my stitch markers in there when I don't need them. So that's kind of handy. It's not like a full project bag, but it's pretty handy. I really love it. Okay, so the next thing that I'll show you is another sweater that I just started. So this one is also not for me. This is for a friend of mine. It's barely started, but I'll show you anyways. Just a little wee start. This is going to be the Stone Crop Pullover by Andrea Mowry. So you can just like barely tell. I just finished these baubles. I hope they're showing up. They're really cute. They're really, really cute. They add a really interesting texture, and they're not as hard as I thought they would be. I was very nervous to knit them because I've never done them before. But so in the pattern, she doesn't include instructions. She just says make a bauble, which is fine. But Andrea Mowry actually has a YouTube channel where she goes over techniques from her patterns, and bauble stitches are one of the techniques that she has a video for. And her video was really clear and really helpful. So, you know, right away, I think I figured it out. They're not all perfect. Like, some of them are a little lumpy, but I'll have like 2 good ones and then kind of a mushy one and then a couple more good ones. And you can't really tell from a distance. I like how they're turning out. So yeah, just one. Hopefully, yeah, I don't know. I'm just really excited about them. They're terribly cute. So yeah, there's a little bit of texture in this pattern, and then I'm about to get into some color work, which I'm really excited about. I'm actually going to use some of my hand spun yarn for that. I have that here. So I've already like caked it up. It's a little bit messy because I was playing with it just to make sure I could get gauge, because it's a little bit, the yarn is a little thicker than fingering weight. It's still fine. But this is the, let me show you. So this is the yarn that I'm knitting with, and then this is, so I think they're quite close actually. Anyways, I got gauge, I got almost gauge, so we're gonna work with that. Yeah, this is the hand spun yarn that I'm gonna be using. So it's like a pretty blush color, really pretty. I'm very excited to be knitting with this. So I think those are going to look really nice together. I think that's all I have to say about that. It's super fun. Having all these whips is really bad for me because I'm equally excited about all of them and I'm not finishing anything, which is very bad. But that's my problem. Okay, so those are the 2 sweaters that I have in progress. I have 3 scarves in progress. So one of them I'm keeping in this bucket. This is from Jenna Rose. She screen prints all her own fabric. Like, I love these. I love her. I love all of her fabric. Like, her style is just very stunning. These little houses make me really happy. I love art, like architecture represented in art. Houses make me so happy. Windows, doors, things like that. I just love it. So Jared got me this for Christmas, which was really nice of him. I love it a lot. So currently it's housing a project, and then any other projects that I'm also working on I tend to throw in here, like little bags, small sock bags or whatever. I just chuck it all in here because this is an awesome size and it like lives next to my bed for the most part. But I can pick it up and take it wherever I need to go. So this is what's in this bag. A little messy because I pulled some yarn out recently. There we go. Okay, so it's big. I just dropped the hook. This thing is pretty big. But this is what it's looking like. Yeah, so this is it. It goes, I think I made it so that it could go around twice. So yeah, I think that's a good size. Actually, I can't remember how many stitches that was. 400-ish? 300? Or 400? I can double check and tell you. Because it's, the granny stitch is like, oh, now I'm not going to remember. It's a multiple of something plus 2. So anyways, it worked out to be like hundreds and hundreds of stitches, which was pretty crazy. But the nice thing about crochet is that, like, because you're not knitting it on needles, when you start, you just have your, you know, your chain. And so I just chained and I measured my chain around my neck and imagined it being a scarf. So however long that was, that's how I figured out how many stitches to do. Anyways, so I talked about this, I believe, in my last episode. I'm using yarn from Full Moon Fibers and Emily C. Gillies yarn. So I got both of their like winter mini sets, 20 gram mini sets, and then I got a couple extra mini skeins from Full Moon Fibers. So I think I have 12 colors, and pretty much it just happened this way, but pretty well each color I'm getting exactly 2 rows out of. Like, I don't really have much crossover, except sometimes in the middle where there's like this here, you can see there's a section of 3 of this light green in a row, but that doesn't go on for very long. Like, this is as much of the crossover, you know what I mean? So it kind of worked out perfectly that I get 2 rows. I wound up the rest of the yarn into, what do they call this? A magic cake? Magic egg? Anyways, you just, I don't know, I have no idea what it is. It's something magical where you just like tie the yarn together and keep rolling it into a single cake. So you can kind of see that there are some, like, these are some of the colors that are coming up, and then it's kind of totally different on the other end. So I have a lot of like blues, a lot of the blues happening in the first section. Blues and purples, like it's pretty cool. Cool tones. There's some like reds that are coming up, which I'm excited about. One of the reds actually is from Leo and Roxy, which I got for Christmas, as a gift from Jared as well, which was really nice. So it was kind of in the same color palette, so I threw it in there. I'm really excited about that. It's really fun to do. I can like sit down and do one color in an evening. But over the holiday break, I was having a lot of wrist pain, like crazy. And it came in different ways. Like some days I had wrist pain, some days I had like knuckle pain, like my fingers were stiff. And then recently I've been having thumb pain. So like even holding my phone and texting has been kind of a pain. So I'm trying to pace myself and not like overwork myself. I can't really help it. Like I enjoy, I can't sit idle, so I'm having a hard time sitting still and resting my hands, but I know it's good for me, so I'm trying to do that. So yeah, I had a little bit of wrist pain over the holiday, so I had to take a little bit of a break from crochet because that I just find I'm cranking my wrists a little more than when I'm knitting. So yeah, when I'm knitting I get more like tendon pain, like I can feel from my fingers down to my arms. I don't know if that makes any sense, but then with crochet it's like gah, gah, gah. So hi baby, Lola's here. What are you doing? Before she starts playing with my crochet hook, I'm using a G hook, which is 4.25 millimeters from Michaels. So I just liked the size of the granny stitches that made. So that's my granny stripe scarf. I'm really enjoying it. It's a nice break from knitting. 2 more shawls to do. So this one, if you did watch my December vlog, I talked about this a little bit. So this guy, oh my god. Thank God for knitting bags, because the chaos that they contain is just out of this world. So this, I hope this is going to be easy enough to show. Look, there we go. So this is the Chapman wrap. I love the stitches on this. It's really beautiful. It's really light, and it's kind of weird to knit on because I'm knitting with DK and, sorry, this is chaotic. I'm knitting with DK and Surrey, and I've never knit with Surrey alpaca before. Okay. What am I doing? I have no idea. Okay. So this is the Surrey that I'm using. This is called Vacay All Day. It's from Full Moon Fibers. It's beautiful. I love this color. I don't know why. I was just really drawn to this color. This blue was like, give me that. And then I'm also using, this is from Crux Fibers. It's her King's Throne DK base. I don't remember what the color is. Anyways, it's beautiful maroon, burgundy, wine color. Love it, love it, love it. So the pattern is from Pom Pom Quarterly number 32. That was the spring 2020 version. Hi, Pumpkin. Yeah, there's a lot of things on the floor here, and she was sleeping, but anyways, now she's awake. She's joined the party. Here we go. This is the, let's see if I can show you. This is the pattern that I'm doing. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. I love how this looks. I'm very excited to make some more progress on it. There is, it took me a little while to get a handle on the stitch pattern. It's not super lacy, but there's enough going on. There's slip stitches, yarn overs, all of that. It's making It's just making a beautiful fabric though. So I have, their pattern calls for 3 skeins of Surrey. I have 3 skeins of Surrey and 2 skeins of DK. I have 1 skein of this color and 1 skein of a lighter pink color that I did not bring because I'm really organized. But it's like a pink, like a light pink, I think it's called rose quartz. So my wrap is going to end up like the main color, or the DK is going to be 2 colors, which I think is going to be fun. It's going to be different. Why not? That's what I had, and I really want to work for my stash this year, so we're gonna try to keep up with that. I have all of this in another J. Henry Design Co. bag. This is a tie-dye bag that she did in the summer. It has like a half moon zip on it. I love this bag. It's a great size. It's really awesome. So that is my Chapman wrap. I haven't worked on that in a little while. I worked on it a little bit before Christmas, and then Christmas kind of happened and I got sidetracked. So I haven't picked it up in a little while, and I'd really like to get back to it, because that's my problem with knitting wraps and shawls, is that I get really excited, the start goes quick, but then about the middle, you know, or the 3/4 of a scarf, wrap, shawl, you get to that point and you're like, whew, this is taking forever. I don't know if I'm ever gonna finish it. Or maybe that's just me. Okay, so I have one more shawl to share. Now this one I have some good progress on. And it's also in a chaotic state. So just bear with me. Oh my. Okay. This nonsense is my Stay Soft Shawl by Vera Valimaki. I love this. It's I shouldn't have done this. I should have planned this better. Currently, I am at the point, it's a triangle shawl, and it's constructed where you're making the full triangle, and then you actually go back to the beginning and you pick up another like thin triangular edge, and that only goes to the point and not to the third point. Does that make sense? Really clever construction, very difficult to show you on the needles because I have finished the main body of it, and then at the very end you actually leave the last stitches on, and there are almost 200 stitches, so you leave them all live on your needles, and then you take your needles and go back to the beginning. So that results in this. So I have these stitches that are left live on my needles, and I also, on my needles over here, have this section which I've picked up and I'm now working. So when I'm working, I have like these, I just kind of leave and tuck them to the side, and then I work actively like this. Pretty easy. It took me a little while to get my head around that. The instructions are clear, but it's just a matter of imagining it and making it come to life. So I restarted this part. This is the cast on edge. So when I started, I picked up here and I knit, you know, this section all the way. And then I came back after I finished and picked up this. And so I've been working these stitches like back and forth here and picking up a stitch along this seam as I go. Really clever construction, really beautiful result. This section took me a few tries to figure that out, which is totally fine. Worth the effort. I'll just see if I can give you a better close-up, because I just love this detail. Like, this spine is coming along really nicely. it's, you know, there's like it's creating some kind of eyelets in a way as you go. And the construction is just really clever. It also has an I-cord edge. Hopefully you can see that. Really, really beautiful. This color, I hope that's not blowing out like crazy on the screen because this is fluorescent. So yeah, so there's a solid section of the speckle color. Then there is a striped section. Oh, chaos, chaos, you guys. I apologize. There's a striped section of the speckle and then the solid, and then you just work down to the bottom where you have a solid. Hopefully I can show you more appropriately at a later date. This is very professional, obviously. So very close-ish to being done. This is coming along, but I have a long ways to go. You know, this edge just keeps going. Just keeps going. So I've been trying to plug away at that. I keep it next to my desk in case I have a meeting where I can mindlessly knit for a little while, because that's kind of where I'm at. I know the stitch repeat that I'm doing, so I can just kind of plug away at it while listening if I'm in a meeting or on my lunch break or whatever. So I'm just trying to not tuck this away because I'm really close to being done, and I want it for spring because the colors are very kind of springtime to me, so need to get that done. So this used 3 balls of yarn, 3 different colors, all from Full Moon Fibers. If you saw my December vlog, you would have seen me go over these yarns. I opened them. I received them as I purchased them part of their 12 days of cheer in December, but they were a surprise. I didn't know what colors I was going to get. I love the colors that I got. They're beautiful, they look beautiful together, and I was very happy. Spoiler. So I completely used the mint color. There's like a teeny ball of scraps that I have left over that Lola strew across my craft room the other day. So it's in a mess on my craft desk, so I did not bring that with me. These are the 2 colors I have left. I have a lot of this color left. This is Vanilla Dip, and I think I have like 70 grams left, and a skein is like 100 grams, so you know, 70% of this ball is still good to go, so I'll have to find another project for this, which is kind of cool. So that's the one color. Then this is the color that I'm doing now, super bright. I don't remember what this color is called. Phosphorus? Fluorescence? Phosphorescence? I can't remember. Sorry, guys. I thought I knew it and then I confused myself in my brain. So super bright. I hope it showed up somewhat accurately on screen, but it's really fun, super fun. So I'm loving that. I'm loving that project as well, of course. So yeah, those are my 3 big shawls that I'm working on that are in some state of progression. Hopefully I can finish them eventually at some point. Okay, so I have 2 more whips. They're small. I'm gonna try to go over them quickly. So first one, I have in this little bag. This is from Birch Grove. That's their little tag, and this is the bag. I fell in love with this fabric. It's really beautiful, and the size is like perfect. It's perfect for socks. So I have a ball of sock yarn in here and a single sock in progress. It's stripy. This is the yarn. It's all caked up. I wish I had, taken a picture of it in skein form. It's one of those skeins that is like perfectly half and half. So when I saw it, it was like it's half white, half black, and the white section has like these little specks of orange in it, which are really cool. This is from, I don't have the tag in here. Oh, I do. This is from Sassy Strings. Sassy Strings Yarn Studio. That's their little logo. And the color is Cloak and Dagger on their basic sock base, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's really beautiful. It's nice and soft. It's pretty light. It feels very light. So I knew it would be a micro stripe, which, micro stripe? Is that the right term? Yeah. Lola's back. She's being crazy. What's new? So yeah, I knew that this was going to happen and I was very excited about it. So this is the sock that I'm doing. The stripes are pretty, you know, they're pretty wild. I did I'm not following any pattern for this. I'm just doing a recipe that I like, I guess. So I did a ribbed cuff for like, what's that, an inch and a half. She won't leave it alone. Don't leave anything alone. So yeah, I have a ribbed cuff, then like maybe an inch before I picked up, or before I started doing the heel flap. It's ribbed on the top. I don't know if you can see that. And then for the body of the sock, I'm only doing half ribbing, the ribbing on the top of the sock and plain stockinette on the bottom. So I did a heel flap and gusset for this. I think I like the way that a heel flap and gusset fits my foot. I did slip stitch heel because I like, that's the heel. I did a slip stitch heel because I like the way of like how thick that fabric is. It just is so much sturdier in my opinion than just knitting straight across. So yep, turn the heel, gusset. So I'm just like chugging away on the body of the sock now. I'm using Chowgoo's 9-inch circular needles in size 1, 2.25 millimeters. I think that I'm figuring out my like perfect sock formula. Struggling. I struggle so much with socks. Like I really shouldn't. I don't know. People who make socks all the time and have this like box of socks, amazing, amazing. I constantly struggle with gauge, fit, heel fit, length of the sock. I want to be a sock knitter so bad. But anyways, so I have one sock in progress. I just like keep that in my little bag. Great to take with me if I don't want to carry around a bigger project. So that is my basic stripy sock that I have going on. The last project that I'm working on is actually a test knit. It's for, ooh, what's her username? Ojoshi, I think? Hang on. Yeah, Josie. Her username is Ojoshi, and I will include that below. So she put out, she's Canadian, she put out a call for testers for a cute little pattern. It is called the Itsy Bitsy Ascot. So it's like a necktie. It's really cute. You should check out her feed, check out her profile, because she posted a photo of it and it's like, it is itsy bitsy and so cute. So I took a look at her pattern. I caught, there was a little bit of an issue with the way that she just described the increases at the beginning of the pattern, and I totally knew what she meant. It was just like a typo. So I started this over a few times because I was not getting gauge. And that is my fault. That is not anything to do with the way that the pattern is written. I am a super loose knitter. What's wrong with me? I know the problem that most people have with tension is that too tight of a knitter, but I'm too relaxed, I guess, when I'm knitting. I don't know. So let me just show you the first iterations or attempts at my gauge. So this is the first one that I knit after I figured out the increase section. So this is the first start, and look how cute this is. Like, just the way the increases are, it's really, really terribly cute. And then basically I'll just be, you know, at this point I would just be knitting straight for a little while until I get to the other end, and then I decrease. So it's gonna be really sweet, and I just love it. But this is the size, so these are the needles that she recommended to start, 3.5 millimeter. So that's how big that is. This is the size that it should be. It should be 2 inches, like the band should be 2 inches wide. So this is what 2 inches looks like, and this is what I was knitting. So you can see, let me hold them together. Look at the size difference. What the heck is wrong with me? Like, are you kidding? Tighten up, I don't know. This is so, like, you can tell how loose the fabric is here. What's wrong with me? So I knit this one first, and I was like, oh, this seems kind of big. I don't know how this is gonna work as a necktie. It won't, because you're stupid. No, just kidding. I made another one. This one is closer. It's a little bit smaller, but not by much. So again, this, and what size was this needle? So that was 3.5 millimeter. This was 3.25. I went down one size of needle. What is that? That is a US 3. So US 3, US 4, I think. And when I finally got my gauge, they are on a US 0. That's a 2 millimeter needle. So I do need to actually ask her if it's okay if I knit it on a 2 millimeter needle, because I'm incapable of knitting any tighter on the proper needles. So anyways, this is how it's going. This is yarn that I got from Hello Stella. This was a club of hers, her Hello Pretty Bird Club. The color is Tropical Pigeon. It's really pretty, but I don't think I want this item to be in this color. I just needed some yarn to figure out my gauge when I was doing all of this. So I've weighed everything, like all of these like scrap balls of yarn that I had. I weighed them all while I was doing it so that I could accurately tell her how much yardage I use at the end of the project. But I would like to reknit it in the color that I started with, this colorway, which is really pretty. I have the ball here. So this is all these balls of yarn look like chaos, but so that's the theme of this episode, is chaos. Sorry. So this yarn is from Crooked Kitchen yarn, and the colorway is Mischievous Grin. So this is beautiful. I love this color very much. I received this yarn in an exchange from Sarah. Her name is Sarah, Bertha Darling on Instagram. I was partnered with her for the Winter Wishes sock swap. Yep, that was hosted by La Mercerie. I don't know how many years La Mercerie has been doing this, but I've participated in it for 2 years now. So this is the yarn that I received in that sock swap. Yeah. So Sarah totally nailed it. I love this colorway. Beautiful, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Right up my alley. Love it. And so I had knit another project in it. I'll show you in a minute. And that's the yarn that I have left over. So I was like, that's perfect for a little scrappy necktie. I think that would be so cute. Like, that color would be really cute. I'm just picturing it styled with a jean jacket. Freaking cute. So I need to get back to that. It'll be quick. It's really easy knitting right now. So I should pick that up again because I'd like well, she asked if we could have it done by the end of January. We're halfway through January now. I'm not worried about that timeline. But yeah, so I think I'm really enjoying, I love test knitting. I enjoy, you know, reading and analyzing people's work. I don't know if that's weird to say. But I would, like, in school, I always liked proofreading for people's like essays and stuff like that. I think that I am good at giving feedback, like constructive criticism and not just rude criticism, because I don't like getting yelled at or criticized aggressively, so I try not to do that to other people. So anyways, I enjoy test knitting. I enjoy, you know, working through problems like that. So this is really fun. That's for Josie, and hopefully I can finish that soon. So those are all of my whips. Wow, it only took us forever to get through that. I have a few acquisitions to share and a little bit of spinning. Are you still with me? I'm sorry if this is really long. Okay, let's go. So I have two quick things to share with you from yarn that I got early in December that I didn't show on my last podcast. So I already showed you for that sock that I'm doing. That was from Sassy Strings, and so is this. So this is a worsted yarn. This is from Sassy Strings. Worsted weight, Smoke and Mirrors is the colorway. So I picked that up with that sock yarn with the intention of making a hat out of this. I would still like to do that. I am also considering using this yarn to do one of my Make 9 projects, which is I think it's the Ripple Bralette DK. So I think that a worsted might, like, worsted weight being a little thicker than DK, I think that might make a nice fabric. And I love this colorway, it's beautiful. So that is that yarn. This yarn is from Wild in the Woods. Just look at that. I think you can tell just from looking at it, it's a little bit rustic because, well, it says right on the tag, rustic Canadian wool. It is 100% wool, which is great. It's fingering weight, 1 ply, 400 yards. So it's like a plumper fingering weight, which is nice. I got 3 skeins of this. I think I'd really like to make a cardigan with it, because it is a little bit, like, it's not itchy, but well, I mean, it's rustic. Pardon me. I think that it would maybe bug my neck, but I think it would be really warm and nice as like a cardigan where it's just like touching my arms and keeping me warm instead of like crawling up my throat, which is good. I love this colorway. I was totally taken aback by the colorway when I saw it. Just like the greens, the purples, stunning. I'm very excited to see how this knits up. I'm gonna make sure to alternate my skeins while I'm knitting with it so that there isn't too much pooling. I don't mind that, but it's beautiful. Very excited to work with it. I've never worked with a single ply rustic yarn like this, so I'm really excited about that. So that's yarn that I got early in December and didn't have a chance to share with you. Really quickly, when I was talking about my winter wishes sock swap, so I received the Crooked Kitchen yarn from Sarah, and I knit a pair of socks with it. So these are the socks that I knit. Here they are. So if you're thinking, I don't know if you're thinking this, but if you think they look a little big, it's because they are. Because my gauge is crazy. They're pretty oversized. I knit using the needles that were recommended, the yarn that was recommended. I used the Thicksgiving sock pattern by Summerlee Knits. And I love how they turned out. They're really cute. These are kind of like house socks because of how oversized they are. So I held the Crooked Kitchen yarn double with this color. This is from Leo and Roxy. This is yarn I got for Christmas. This is yarn that Jared got me for Christmas. The color is Quartz. It's on their 80/20 sock base. Yeah, Jared picked this color out for me and he was like, do you like it? And I was like, do I like it? He knows me better than he thinks he does. So yeah, I held those two double and this is the result. The color's beautiful, absolutely lovely. And for the cuff, do I have it? Oh yeah. This is the color I used in the cuff. So I held this color, which is just like a one of a kind, I think, mini skein. I held those two together to make the cuff. So I think that's really cute. I love these colors. If I feel so inclined, I may knit this pattern again, possibly with the same yarn if I have enough, with smaller needles, or just pick the smallest size and maybe that might fit better. My gauge is crazy. I don't know what's wrong with me. So yeah, if I didn't used to knit gauge swatches, but now I almost always do because it's a reoccurring problem for me. That's okay. So I love those. That's one finished object that I have to share with you. So quickly, I just wanted to mention one of my dear, beautiful friends, Natalie. She was my winter wishes sock swap partner, not this year, last year. I sent to her. So she didn't send to me. The way that it works is like you're partnered with two people. One of them is sending to you and you're sending to a different person. So there's no like back and forth. So last year I sent a package to Natalie and we've been like friends ever since. So we talk on Instagram all the time. She's lovely and she runs the company Blush Yarns. She sent me this year, she sent me this skein of yarn during the Winter Wishes exchange for no reason because she's a sweetheart. So this is her little logo and this is the yarn that she dyed. It's so pretty. The colorway is called Vintage Ornaments. It's on her fingering, weight 85 merino, 15% nylon base. And she sent me this little stitch marker to go with it. It's so cute. So I'm dying to knit a pair of socks with this yarn. Quickly, when she was dyeing a bunch of Christmas colorways, and I think we were talking about, I almost forgot about this completely, but we were talking about this color and like she was trying to figure out names for a lot of her colorways, and I think that I said this reminds me of vintage Christmas ornaments, and so that's what she called this. So when she mailed this to me, she wrote a little letter and said like, thank you for helping me name this, and I was like, oh my god, that is so special. So I love this so much. Like I like love it. It's so beautiful that I don't want to knit with it, but I also really want to knit with it, you know? So that happens. So I don't know if she watches this, but I really want to send something back to her to like say thank you, but I don't know what that's going to be. So that's that. Couple other things that I got quickly. So Boxing Day sales. I got a couple books, knitting books. One of them, Pom Pom. This is episode. This is number 35, Pom Pom Quarterly for Winter 2020. Very excited about this book. I've seen it everywhere. The patterns in it are stunning. There's one pattern for a crochet sweater that I am just dying to do. I'm sure you've seen this. Is that not stunning? It's just beautiful. So I'd love to do this. I would really like to get into more crochet, so yeah, I would really love to get into more crochet. I'd love to knit a crochet. I'd love to crochet a sweater. So that's a goal. Anyways, beautiful book. Super excited about that. The next book that I got was Strange Brew. You've probably seen this book as well. It's beautiful. It focuses on colorwork yoke design. There are a few beautiful yoke patterns in here, and then it also goes through you like designing your own pattern, which is amazing. It walks you through different types of construction, like top down with a yoke, bottom up with a yoke, etc. And then it does it in 3 different sizes. So there's instructions for Aran, DK, and sock weight yarn. So it's kind of delving into the area of like understanding pattern construction. I don't know that I'm going to be a pattern writer or anything crazy, but I would like to be able to manipulate my patterns a little bit more than I'm able to right now, just like changing, you know, using the same gauge but changing the yarn or whatever, because I'd like to knit more from my stash, and you know, I need to be able to use what I have and manipulate it in a way that works for me. So I'm excited to have that as a resource. And similarly, I also picked up the Ready Set Raglan by Pom Pom. This, you've also probably seen this kicking around. This is new, and it came out in like the middle of December 2020. So where, you know, Strange Brew is very much yoke construction, colorwork construction, this is focused just on raglan construction. I've talked about raglan sweaters before, how I feel about the fit of them. I'm really excited to have this as a resource as well. And similarly, it does, like, there are, I think, six or seven patterns in here for different types of sweaters, all with different features, you know, some in garter, some in ribbing, some with like a detail at the raglan increase. But there's also instructions on how to modify some things, such as like a higher neckline, you know, cropping, color blocking, stuff like that. So again, I really think this is going to be a great resource. I'm very excited to have this. I've looked through it. I've looked through all of them, but not in detail. So I'm gonna, you know, when I feel the need, I can sit down and kind of go into a little more detail with those, which is very exciting. So those 3 books I picked up from Galt House of Yarn, G-A-L-T. That they're in, I think they're in Cambridge, Ontario, or something like that. They're in Ontario. So they had a sale on their books, knitting books on Boxing Day. So I got in on that. One other Boxing Day splurge, you know, purchase that I made was for this guy. So I'm not sure, you know, I'm sure you've maybe seen these around. This is a needle case. It's by Pleistra. Beautiful accordion style, you know, folio type of thing. So the accordion is really interesting. So there are these like little, you know, places for your needles, and then these bigger pockets for your cables, and then for your like other things. So I've got, you know, you got your adjusters, your ends, all of that good stuff. So this is beautiful. I am very thrilled to own this. I have one of the Chagu interchangeable needle sets, like the half set. I didn't get the bigger needle sizes. Sorry, cat hair. So yeah, I had that, and it comes with a case, but the case that it comes with is kind of, it's not the best. It's functional. It's kind of like a folio. I'm sure you've seen it. It's like black and white. It has a big zipper on it. And I just kind of never was a big fan of just the way that it was laid out. It didn't function super well for me for storing the cables and all of that. So, and you know, I never closed the zipper properly and my needles would fall out, so it was kind of a nuisance. So this wasn't a necessity. It was kind of a nice to have. But I'm very excited to have it. It functions very well for me. The size is great too. The folio that the Chagu needles come with are like, it's like a little bit bigger on all sides, so it fits in your bags, but it's just a little bit bigger than it needed to be. So this is a nice portable size, and I really like this. Actually too, these aren't from the same, you know, company at all. This is from Fringe Supply Co., this bag, which has my Stay Soft shell in it. But this is olive, and it has like the leather handle. I think it's like a vegan leather. And this is like similar. They're not the exact same, but they're really similar, so I don't know. That just kind of made me happy. I love this. So I purchased that, I don't know if I said, from the Knitting Loft. With that purchase, I also got these. So these are cones. Cones of yarn. I've never purchased a cone before. Sorry, I'm just reading. It's from Harrisville Designs, and it's 900 yards of Shetland. So I got the color red and the color iris. So this is the red, and this is the iris. They're beautiful. So 900 yards isn't a ton of yardage. I think I could do like maybe a cropped sweater, maybe like a tee. It's a little over 2 skeins of yarn. It is 228 grams, so it's a little bit, sorry, I have cat hair all over my face. Problems. So yeah, I've got 2 of these. I really, with the red, it's like a really bright red. I would love to do like a Christmas sweater type of design, something with that. I don't know, like maybe a cardigan or something. I don't have anything that's like, you know, like a real true Christmas sweater. I think that would be really fun to have and fun to make myself. And this color I just really loved. I thought it was beautiful. Super into blues lately. Apparently, I keep saying that. Never was a blue person, and now all I knit with is the color blue. So those are the purchases that I made. That yarn, my needle case, and my books were my, you know, Boxing Day, holiday splurges. So that was kind of exciting. The last thing that I have to talk about, which I am excited to share, is fiber and spinning. So do you want to see it? Here we go. Let's see. Actually, hang on. Sorry, I had some spun fiber that I wanted to grab. So let's start with, okay, so really quickly, let's start with, this was a gift for Christmas. This is something that Jared got me as well. He did so, like, I don't want to say he did so well this year. He just got me some very thoughtful things. One of them being this fiber. So it's in a really crinkly bag. This is 250 grams, which is like, that's a good chunk of fiber. Funny enough, I've actually purchased this exact fiber before, and I've spun it already. I have 3 little balls of this. Here, let me show you how it spins up. I may have shown this in a podcast before. So that's it, all caked up. It's probably a worsted to bulky, like it's a pretty thick chunk of yarn. I applied this 3-ply, so it's a little bit beefy. So I think I had 100 grams of this, and yeah, I've got it in 3 cakes right now. So this together, I think I could make something sizable with that. Once I get this spun up, hopefully I can get similar, you know, a weight of yarn with the result. But it would be really nice to do, like, I don't know, like a big shawl or something maybe. I don't know. It's very exciting, the possibility. So it was funny because I told him that. I was like, oh, I actually have spun this before. And he was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, this is awesome. Now I have actually like a good quantity that I could do something with. So this is very exciting. I'll have to work on that soon. This is something that's really exciting. This is a recent purchase from Akara Yarns. How am I going to show you this? Okay, so I got 2 little fiber braids from Akara Yarns. This is her little logo. So this is just ridiculously beautiful. I don't even have the words. Like the colors, you know, there's some like bright pink, some bright blue. It's stunning. This is a superwash merino nylon 80/20 in the color Pinta. Beautiful. So I'm very excited to spin that. This is a one-of-a-kind colorway, and it is it's very maroon, very black. There's actually little pops of, like, there were some little pops of blue in it, but there are none left in this like chunk of fiber that I have left. So you can see though that there's some like variegation to the color, which is really pretty. So this is half of a braid that I have left over, 50 grams. I've spun half of it and I want to show you. So I have it on my little, these are my extra bobbins. So this is the fiber that I've spun out of that wool. The wool that I've spun out of that fiber. So this is a single ply and I've spun it pretty fine. Like, let me see. Just trying to. It's quite fine. So I'm hoping that I can get a lightweight yarn out of this, like hopefully a fingering weight. I think I might ply this 2-ply. I don't do that very often. I prefer a 3-ply myself, but it's hard to get a really fine yarn out of a 3-ply because it's triple the thickness of whatever you spin. So right now, like, I've spun it really fine. If I double that thickness, I think that would be more close to a fingering, but it's hard to get anything really fine after you've plied it against itself 3 times, you know. So if I have exactly 50 grams of this left, which is half. So hopefully I can get similar yardage to what I've already spun and then ply them against each other. I hope that works out. I'm very excited. This is beautiful. I love, this is really a me color, so I love this. This is I don't know if I said 100% Corriedale, so it's a little bit different than the merino. I don't know if it's really going to show, but I'm just going to pull some of it apart so you can see. Like, it's not rustic. It's just like the fibers are curlier, I think. Like, it's a really long staple, so each of the hairs is really long, so it's really quite easy to spin with. Actually, they pick up on each other right away, so this is really nice. I haven't used her merino. Merino's usually pretty similar. Like, it's not even so different. I don't know if it's gonna show, but like the fibers are, merino fibers are just a little straighter or a little softer. I'm not sure. So I think it's just going to be slightly different. I don't think it's going to be any more difficult, but just the 2 fibers comparatively, they're just a different experience. So it's fun to play with different fibers and just experience that for yourself. I'm going to be sad to rip this apart because it's really pretty, but I'm also very excited to see what it's going to look like after it's spun. So beautiful, beautiful fiber from Akara Yarns. So that is those 2, and then I have one more spinning adventure that I started. So, sorry, this is in a bag. I have this Corriedale. Yeah, this is Corriedale again. I like spinning with Corriedale. It spins really nicely. So this is in the color Indigo, and it's from Fiber Garden, the Fiber Garden. I think they're in Ontario. This is just a beautiful blue. Beautiful, beautiful blue color. So this, you know, chunk I have is 100 grams, and then I actually have, I think, almost 500 more grams of this. I want to make a sweater out of this. I really, really would love that. So I spun up one skein of the yarn already. So I did this 3-ply against itself. It came out with a nice weight, I think. Like, that might be like a DK or a worsted. So I think that would be, I think this will be really nice knit into a sweater. Love the color. It would be really cool to, you know, spin up a sweater's quantity worth and knit with that. So I'm just kind of like, oops, I have that just kind of like happening in the background. So I think that's actually finally it. Covered a lot of ground today, so I'm sorry that this video is not going to be short at all. It's going to be super long, and a little disjointed. So hopefully my next video won't be as long. Maybe I'll do it actually at a, you know, reasonable time frame following this one. But if you stuck with me through this, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you being here. Yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you. So let me know down below what you guys are working on right now. There's obviously, you know, a million whips that I have in progress. So do you have a lot of whips going on? Are you monogamously knitting on one project? Because if you are, that's amazing. I want to know. So anyways, I'll let you guys go, and we'll talk next time. Bye!